This is the Jaguar Den on the home of all things North Laurel, FM 98.5, and the Jaguar Broadcasting Network via North Laurel Nation. This is where we proudly highlight all our student athletes and band members. You'll see and hear from basketball, cross country, soccer, volleyball, bass fishing, baseball, softball, track and field, golf, tennis, archery, football, swimming, cheer, and dance. Thank you for joining us in the Den.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to the Palace in London, Kentucky, as we are coming here live for the second Jaguar Den show. In the first show, we highlighted our bass fishing team, archery team, spoke to both coaches for those teams, and then had a little call-in show at the end for our Hall of Fame inductees. So if y'all missed that show, you can also go back to our Facebook and rewatch that live stream. We recommend you do it. It was a really good one.
It was, and we're excited to be able to do this monthly to showcase the student athletes at North Laurel, not just the major sports, but all sports. You know, having started out with bass fishing and archery. Tonight we're going to talk to our head track coach, Rachel Gaynor, student athletes Xander Harris and Camden Stokes. And then we'll also hear from head tennis coach Bobby Smith, along with student athletes Finn McCardle, Jackson Gilbert, Carson Elza, Alyssa Taylor Vaughn, and Adeline Maxey. And then we'll close it up with speaking with our softball and baseball team. So just got a great lineup for you all tonight, and we're super excited about it. I thought the first show was a great hit. You know, the call-ins from our Hall of Fame inductees, got to speak to Marcus Carson, Abby Sears, and Ashley Woolham. So we're just excited to be able to bring you the highlights of what's going on in the last month at North Laurel High School. And we thank again Craig Tincher at the Palace for sponsoring us. And we look forward to several other episodes each month highlighting those student athletes.
Absolutely. So we'll take a break real quick. This is Jalen and Mike Black here for the second Jaguar Den show at the Palace. We'll step aside here from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The Palace Family Entertainment Center has 60,000 square feet of fun and games, 18 bowling lanes, the largest arcade in town, an indoor go-kart track, a full-service snack bar, and now introducing Crazy Axes, our new axe-throwing facility. Ask us about our bowling leagues and birthday party rooms. Come for the thrills and excitement and stay for the fun. We have it all at the Palace on North Main next to Kroger.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Palace. We are joined now by head track and field coach Rachel Gaynor. Thank you for joining us today, Rachel.
Thanks for the invitation.
So we are super excited to let you guys learn a little bit about our track and field program here at North Laurel. Very talented. You know, there are many good track and field players that have come through here, and a lot of records been broken. Talk about how special this season was.
This season is a good season again. You know, we have a lot of good athletes, like you said. You know, we don't want to be complacent. We'd always like to have done better. But, you know, our numbers were down a little bit on the girls' side, but, you know, we had very good performances, and we're excited looking forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your girls' team was really young this year, and you know, I think you had a couple of middle schoolers that just really excelled, and so the future's bright there. But we're going to talk a little bit tonight to Xander Harris and Camden Stokes. I know Xander's been a part of your program for several years. Talk a little bit about Xander, and I know they just missed out on the relay team that they really thought had a chance to compete at to make it to state. Talk about their season and some of those performers.
Well, Xander's, you know, he's been with us now. I mean, I guess if you take out COVID, we had him for 6 track seasons. He improved tremendously. You know, you kind of in track, you kind of have to find your niche and which events are your best events and things like that, and figure out that aspect of it. But Xander had a good year. I mean, I'm sure he'll tell you it wasn't what he hoped. It was better, a little bit better. But our region's gotten really competitive statewide. I mean, we had, you know, to qualify for state, you got to be one of the top 2 in the region, or the next 10 qualifying times. You know, in several events, we had 4 teams in certain events or 4 individuals in events. So, it's very competitive, and we're in with Louisville, Lexington, Davis County, Northern Kentucky. So very competitive. Xander had a great year. Our 4x8 did qualify for the state. We went in 16th, ranked 16th, and our time would have probably put us there at the state as well, maybe a little bit faster. But with graduation being that day, we didn't have enough that along with an injury, we didn't have enough to participate. But Camden, but as far as Xander, I mean, we're going to miss him. I mean, he stepped in, we put him in a 4x2 at the region, and, just kind of figured out where we could score the most points.
Yeah, wherever you needed him. So that relay team was Xander Harris, Jesse Madden, Aiden Harris, and Carson Collett.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And Carson was one that injured his hamstring in the regional.
He did. Not in that race. He did it in the next race. Yeah, on the 4x2, which he had just come off a calf issue. He definitely didn't have the season he wanted to. He fought injuries the whole year. I fought him in cross country as well. So, he's just got to, work on his body and work on things like that, and he'll be fine. But he was an excellent young athlete as well. But Aiden, just an 8th grader, really, I mean, he ran at middle school state. He was great. He ran, got 6th in the 1600 and 4th and 800. And the times were just kind of crazy for 8th graders. So he was very competitive there. And then Jesse has just made a huge turnaround this year. He's probably been our most consistent and most improved over the course of the year.
Yeah. And then you had, I call him Jaron. I guess everybody else calls him JJ Edwards, won the 110-meter hurdles.
He did. He won the 110 hurdles at region, got 2nd in the 300s. Probably if he hadn't had a terrible start in the 300s, probably would have won that because it was really close. But, went to the state. We thought he had a shot at a medal in the 110s. He went in ranked 10th. But, in that race, the difference between, 4th and 10th may be a couple of tenths a second. So really just, comes down to technique and doing everything right. You can't have a, bad hurdle or a bad start. And he unfortunately did not have a great start. So, he still ran well. He ran his freshman year, didn't run his sophomore year, so just came back this year. So had not been at the state, so I'm sure a little bit of nerves. That's his first race. It's second race of the meet. I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves as well.
Oh, absolutely. You talked about the competition. It's comparable to the football in 5A. I mean, we're in it's 3A, I believe is what we're in, one of the largest classes. And where they have just so many more guys on the roster and girls. And so, to compete at that level, it takes some high quality athletes and great times as well.
Right. Well, with JJ, I mean, that's definitely true. With JJ, I mean, we had talked all week, he was the fastest one in the second heat. They run the fast heat last at state. And so he was the fastest one in the second heat. And we're like, anything happens, because in that fast heat, they're all going to be pushing. And in hurdles, anything can happen. Somebody can trip and fall or, get DQ'd or whatever. So, maybe we put a little bit too much pressure on him because we were just like, you got to win your heat, and then you got a shot. And, but it was a good experience. So hopefully next year we'll have a different outcome.
You started to talk about Camden a little bit. He's what you call your field events where he throws.
Yep. Camden started last year, just kind of out of the blue. His mom, contacted me and we wanted to start throwing. And last year we really didn't have a throws coach. And so he kind of did it on his own. Taught himself some bad techniques, but some bad habits. But, he did okay last year, came back this year. And fortunately, Garrison Birchall came back, which Garrison was never a thrower, but, he's kind of self-taught. And we've had some good throwers under him, some excellent throwers under him. And so they worked really hard on the shot and the disc. Both of those, again, are just a whole lot of technique, and you got to be strong, yes, but that's not all it. No, it's definitely not all it, because you can watch the kid that wins our region. I mean, he doesn't even look like he would be great, and he's just a really good thrower. But Camden got 8th in the state, went in ranked 8th, was 7th until the very last throw, and a kid out threw him on the last throw, but he finished up 8th, and that's great. I mean, for the first time there. They really had those 2 weeks, which is a long break between the region and the state, but they really had those 2 weeks just to concentrate on the shot, where they work on techniques and things like that, and try to be focused on that. Because when you're going from shot to disc, there's totally different things that you're working on. So they really focused on the shot, and he was prepared.
Well, you had Hayden Moses that qualified in the pole vault.
Hayden's qualified at 2 or 3 years. Around here, she's pretty competitive. Statewide, it's tough for pole vault. They take an average of like the last 3 years, and the state of Kentucky's had some really good girl pole vaulters in the last few years. So the starting height's up there. It starts out at 8.6. That's actually Hayden's PR is 8.6. And so, a lot of times when you go to state, if you don't get those preliminary jumps at a little bit lower height and kind of get your feel, it's tough to go in at your best. But, she went in, she's working with a guy outside of school that does some personal pole vaulting. He basically works with all the high schools and colleges around here. So she has improved her technique and her form, and hopefully, she'll get the school record next year. She's just an inch off, I think. So
she'll get that.
Yeah, hopefully so.
All right. So this has been an interview with Coach Rachel Gaynor, head coach of the track and field team. And we'll step aside for a break and be right back and hear from student athletes Camden Stokes and Xander Harris.
All right. Great job. Not too bad. All right, I'll let you go to the middle. You all go on each side.
Gospel, you have found souls. It's the light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the light of London for the very best of country and southern gospel.
We are the light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
All right, welcome back.
The Palace
In London. This is Jalen Black, joined now with track and field athletes Camden Stokes and Xander Harris. So, guys, congratulations, on another successful track season here. And Xander, sadly, it was your last one. That was your senior year. And going out with a bang. I know you're a part of many school records broken and stuff, and you've just had a wonderful career. Just talk about, what North Laurel Track and Field's meant to you.
Just in short, North Laurel Track and Field, it's becoming more of a family than a team, really.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I leave the track, I tell these guys I love them, that I hope they get home safe. I mean, we really are a brotherhood.
Yep.
Whether you've been around for years, since starting with me, or you're just joining brand new, we all care about each other the same. We all work hard, and we all keep on pushing each other each and every day. I mean, one of the hardest working guys is here right now next to you is Camden Stokes. I mean, I see this man out there on the field throwing shot and disc each and every day in the summer. I mean, we love it. We love it. We really do.
Absolutely. So, Xander, talk a little bit about what different categories you ran and what were your favorites over the years.
I'm more mid-distance, so about 800 meters to a mile. So, but this year they put me in a couple of sprinter events, like the 200, which was pretty fun as a distance guy to get to, be fast for once.
Yeah.
But the 800 is my bread and butter. That's the event that I broke the school record in, broke my own record in. And it's just, ever since I started running that event, I've loved it. 4x4 is also up there. It's just a really fun one. It can do the meets.
Yep.
Gets everybody hyped up, gets the crowd going. So.
And that's a relay race, correct?
Yes.
So who was your relay partners this year?
This year it was Carson Collett, Aiden Harris, and Jesse Madden for the most part. But we switched it around a couple of times. Malik Turner joined us some. JJ Edwards joined us some. So it was a revolving door sometimes, just with injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was this your first year getting to run with your little brother, Aiden?
First year in track.
Track,
year, I think second or third year in cross country.
Cross country, gotcha. What was that experience like?
I wanted to wring his neck a couple of times in practice. He'd be he'd be a little annoying sometimes, but I got the opportunity to coach him up and show him that I really do truly care about him.
Mhm.
It's just hard to show it sometimes,
Yep.
especially on the track or on the field. And, I got the opportunity to watch him participate and be great like I knew he could.
Yep. All right. Camden, we mentioned you placed 8th in state in shot put, and Coach
Yeah.
Gaynor was talking about how, unlike Xander, this isn't something you've been doing, since middle school.
Yeah.
It was kind of something you just went in, head first and wanted to jump in and try something new, and you end up being really good at it.
Yep, it's just something I really enjoy, and I just I love practicing it. And I've been weightlifting a few years before, which helps the strength to throw it far, and I feel like the Lord's blessed me with something, fun to do,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. And talk about how, all of your teammates have been there for you, jumping into something new and supporting you all the way.
They're all just been kind. They've just helped me with stuff, and and just it's like a brotherhood, just
Yep.
like Xander said.
Absolutely. So, so this was your first time competing in state for track and
Yes.
field, right? What was
Yes.
that experience like, being with some of the best in Kentucky?
A lot of just calming myself down mentally, breathing, just really just being in the moment, walking in, just staying calm, because once you can win the game mentally, the rest kind of falls into place, but that
Absolutely.
was definitely the hardest part, was just staying calm, because, I was really excited, but can't waste all your energy, getting real hyped up,
Absolutely. So what are your goals for next year? You'll be a senior next year. It'll be your final season of throwing shot put and discus. You got any goals planned out?
Well, I'd love to break school record in shot put and get better at discus, because discus is a lot more technique.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Yep. So just, I guess, to work on that and get a little bit better at that, and then hopefully get top 3 in the state in shot put.
All right. So we'll talk lastly, just one more question. I just always want to hear from different athletes what your favorite moment ever was with either this team or any teams in the past. Do you have a favorite moment that stands out?
I have a few, but one of my all-time favorites is our 4x4. Me and Carson, we were the 3rd and 4th leg. We kind of called ourselves, tick and tack, yin and yang sort of. And it was almost like a slingshot.
Yeah.
He'd give me the baton and he would slingshot me on. But at our all-comers, my last home meet ever, being a Jaguar, and we came in. I got the baton in 3rd place, 100 meters behind South Laurel, and I hawked down and got South Laurel to get 2nd.
I believe I was there for that one. I think I got to witness that in real time. That was awesome.
And everybody meeting me at the finish line and hyping me up. It was awesome. It was really awesome.
That's cool. What about you? Favorite moment, favorite memory?
I would say probably at the start of this year when Garrison Birchall said that he would start coaching the throws again. Because when I first started, we didn't really have a coach. I was really just watching YouTube videos, trying to figure out what to do,
That's
how
crazy.
to do it. Yep, and when he came and just showed me just the fundamentals, I really took off. So, I mean, just his coaching, and when he told us that he would be helping us again, that was probably the best moment so far, I'd
That's
say,
awesome.
for sure. Yeah.
All right, so this has been track and field athlete Xander Harris and Camden Stokes. We will step aside for a quick commercial break and be back for our next segment here on the Jaguar Den.
The Palace Family Entertainment Center has 60,000 square feet of fun and games, 18 bowling lanes, the largest arcade in town, an indoor go-kart track, a full-service snack bar, and now introducing Crazy Axes, our new axe throwing facility. Ask us about our bowling leagues and birthday party rooms. Come for the thrills and excitement and stay for the fun. We have it all at the Palace on North Main next to Kroger.
For the best in Southern and country gospel, you have found the source. It's the Light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the Light of London for the very best in country and Southern gospel.
We are the Light of London, 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back here to the Jaguar Den, the second ever show. And we just finished highlighting our track and field players and head coach Rachel Gaynor. And now we're moving on to the tennis parts. We will be talking with some players for the boys and girl tennis team. And now we're joined here with head tennis coach Bobby Smith. Bobby, thank you for joining us here tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So we were very excited, learn a little bit more about your program and let everyone watch and, learn a little bit more. Tennis is a very unique sport in its own. It could be a team sport or you can do a single event. Just talk a little bit about, overview of how your teams performed this season.
Well, that's a good point you brought up, and I will mention that to kids every now and then, that you get the best of both worlds, where it can be an individual sport when you're playing singles.
Yep.
It's just you and the other player, and then in doubles you've got a partner, so a little bit of a team thing, and then for the whole match you have to win 5 out of 9 courts, so that becomes the team part of it too.
Yep.
So you get a little bit of everything with that. As far as our season, our girls, we lost our top 5 and 8 out of our top 9 from last year.
Wow.
Due to graduation or injuries. So we only had one girl that's going to be here tonight, one of the returning girl that had a little bit of experience. Everybody else, they were new to the lineup. And so going in, I was a little worried about how we might do, but we ended up, we started off 0-2, and I got the girls together. I said, girls, you all know what our record is. They're like, yeah, 0-2. I was like, yeah, we haven't been 0-2 in a long time. I said, we'll go to win tonight.
Yep.
And we did. And our record, we ended up finishing 13-4 on the year, which was just a testament to the work the girls put in, and had a really good year. Our boys, we finished 14-3 on the boys side, and we did have a state qualifier in doubles with Finn McCardle and Carson Elza, and then our singles player Jackson Gilbert, and it was all 3 of theirs first trip to state. So
Awesome.
We just got back from that last week. Had a great time, but it was a real successful year on the boys as well.
Now, you talked about how young your girls' team was. Tell us, how long have you been the tennis coach at North Laurel High School?
Let's see.
I didn't want to say since the school opened, but it's pretty close.
Pretty close. Since 2001, so this is my 25th year.
So you and Darren McCorder are probably the longest tenured head coaches in North Laurel history.
I believe that's right. We've got seniority.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I know I've hired a lot of coaches in my 18 years, but I've never had to hire a head tennis coach. So tell us, you talked about getting the benefits of both worlds. And, a lot of kids around here, everybody who plays basketball, baseball, softball growing up. Talk about some of the, student athletes that you picked up over the years that, tennis may not have been their first choice. I know some of these kids, just having known them, tennis probably wasn't their first sport, was it?
Well, a lot of times over the years, I'll have real good luck with soccer players that we've had. It may be their senior year before they come out, and with soccer, with the footwork, and they kind of have that kind of down already, and they can translate that to playing well on the tennis court. And we've had several of those over the years. So that's a big help. Cheerleaders, we've had some of those girls that played for us. So yeah, a lot of times they might pick it up later on and pick it up pretty quick
and fall in love with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know last year for me, hosting the tennis regional tournament, it was the first time ever. There's a lot that goes into that. And you talked a little bit about winning 5 out of 9 courts and stuff like that. And I know Jalen and I had an opportunity earlier this year to come out to a couple invitationals that you hosted. Yep. She was doing pictures and stuff. So there's a lot to a tennis match. It's not just running out, because we have 6 courts at North Laurel. So
6 courts, yeah.
So you've got 6 matches going on simultaneously.
Right. Yeah, and we host what we're really proud of is our North Laurel Tennis Classic that we do on one Saturday for boys, another Saturday for girls, and we'll have teams. We'll have 8 schools come in for that, and we have them from all over. Our goal is to have 8 different regions represented.
Okay.
And we've had them from Paducah Tillman came this year. We had a team from Charleston, West Virginia came down, Cincinnati, Ohio on the boys side, Louisville,
Greenwood out of Bowling Green.
Greenwood
I
out
think
of Bowling
was there.
Green. They had the girls doubles champs this year from Greenwood. They were at our tournament. Yeah, we had several people we saw at state were players that we'd seen from that came to our tournament.
Yeah,
so.
and if you've not came out and watched an invitational, a lot of good tennis.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
high
good
quality.
tennis.
We try to get some real good competition in for that one. Yeah.
Well, put a plug out for your team. If you got people out here watching, if you all want to play tennis, get in touch with Bobby Smith. I'm sure you'll take anyone.
Definitely. Come on out. You'll guarantee to have a good time.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're ready to move on and hear from some of our tennis players. We have 4 now for this sport where it's separated for boys and girls. So we'll step aside, take a quick break. This has been head tennis coach Bobby Smith joining us.
If I could just add something real
Absolutely.
quick. Appreciate you and your dad here and Kip over there for kind of getting this going.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the sports that aren't as well known and gives these kids some pub. So sure appreciate
Absolutely.
you all.
Of course,
Yes,
that's
thank
exactly
you.
why
Yeah.
we wanted to start this. I've learned a lot already myself just from hearing these experiences from the student athletes, and it's a really interesting thing. And if you know anybody who wasn't able to tune in live, they can always go back and watch these videos.
Right.
So we will step aside for a quick break and be back to hear from our tennis student athletes. You're listening to the Jaguar Den at the Palace.
Hi, my name is Mike Black, the principal at North Laurel High School. I'm joined by Athletic Director Ethan Everso, and we're excited that you've tuned in to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. The Jaguar Broadcasting Network was a dream of mine to be able to showcase the talents of not only our student athletes, but our students who are actively involved in creating commercials, working behind the scenes in video production, and we're excited to see where this venture leads.
If you want to see your name or business come across the screen in one of our commercials done by our awesome sports marketing class, feel free to reach out to the school. You can contact me via email or via phone. We can make that happen for you. Thank you for tuning in to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
Go Jags.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Jaguar Den. Joined now by 2 of our tennis girls athletes. This is Adeline Maxey here, and Taylor Vaughn. I wanted to call you Alyssa for some reason. Taylor Vaughn, I know her name, I promise. So we're here to talk with them, about their love for tennis. Maxie, obviously, we played basketball together, so I know you played some other sports throughout your life. What kind of drew you to tennis and got you started doing that?
Honestly, I was just looking for something to do. Like, I'd kind of quit everything, and then tennis came up because I thought it would be something fun to get into, and I'm so glad I did. I started going to lessons and was able to be the second seed right my first year. So
wow, that's awesome. Taylor, how did you get your start in tennis?
I have an older brother who played, and I got into it after he did.
Derek. Okay, so we're giving Derek some credit, I guess. We'll give him that. So we talked to Coach Bobby Smith earlier, and he mentioned a lot about how on the girls' side of things this year, you guys had lost a lot of players to graduation, injuries, and kind of had a rough start. Started out 0-2, and he told you guys we could do this. We just got to get things flipped around, and y'all ended up advancing to the semifinals of the region tournament with a win over Knox. So just talk a little bit about your season, maybe some trials and errors, some things that happened throughout the season.
It started off kind of slow. I mean, we were trying to figure out seedings, and especially doubles, because we had 3 doubles teams who were all really close in level. So, so sitting there, and then after we got them figured out, we had to figure who we were singing singles. So it's a process.
Yep, definitely. What are your thoughts on the season, Maxie?
Like Taylor said, we got off to a really, really slow start, and also with our doubles, we just didn't know who was playing where.
Yeah, it takes a while to figure things out.
I think after the first 3-4 matches, though, we got on like an 8-game winning streak. So
wow.
We were able to figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I got an opportunity to watch both of you guys play this season. And tennis is one of those sports that, everyone knows about it, but they don't necessarily watch it at the high school level, especially. It's more like, the professional tournaments, things like that. What do you guys want people to know about tennis, and what is maybe something that you guys think sticks out with the sport that people would enjoy?
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Everything is so technical. I mean, you can't rely on athleticism at all. It's all about how you hit the ball, how you spin the ball. And it definitely takes a lot more physical effort that you might think sprinting, moving side to side, being able to be in positions.
Absolutely.
And when that ball's coming at you, some serve 70 miles an hour, you gotta.
That's crazy,
you gotta
ain't
be
it?
ready.
That's wild. What about you? Just
Well, there's a bunch of different ways you can play and like the type of player you are. So when you're going into a match, you don't really know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Until you start warming up and actually playing.
So every player has a unique, way of going about the game. That's awesome. So talk a little bit about you guys in the future. If you have any goals for yourself personally or as a team next year, anything like that.
I'd say a big goal is always to go to state and hopefully make it run at state. But I just hope that whether I play singles in the future, doubles, I can contribute to the team and personally do my best every game. That's all.
Absolutely. Yep.
State's also always a goal, but I just kind of want to make it further into region next year if possible. I only made it to the second round, so it's kind of iffy. But we don't literally lose anyone this year, so we have promising if we all can keep working out.
That's awesome. So, last question. Just want to know your all's personal favorite memories from tennis. Any funny moment or, a game that stuck out to you all?
There's a lot. I would just say our trips. And Alyssa, she always has like a chocolate milk protein shake. I always steal it from her, steal her food. She gets mad at me. We take trips up to like northern Kentucky every year, and we had time to kill between where we stopped at Nate on the way home. So we stopped at the mall, and me and a few of the boys, we rented these scooters, like rode them around the mall, and Bobby's over there taking pictures of us, and one of them got flipped. So it's something.
That's the best part about all, team sports, things like that, is just spending time getting to know your teammates better. And some of the track and field players were talking about how it's like a family, and it is. When you spend so much time with your teammates practicing, going to games, tournaments, things like that, you guys really become close. So thank you all for joining me, and I want to wish you guys good luck next season and for the rest of your tennis career. This has been Adeline Maxey and Taylor Vaughn. We'll step aside and be back with two of our tennis from the boys team. This is Jalen Black here at the Palace for the Jaguar Den.
North Laurel Nation, 98.5 WJTE, the Light of London, and the Jaguar Broadcasting Network have teamed up to bring you North Laurel athletic coverage like you've never seen it before, with shows like the Jaguar Den on the first Monday of every month. And all your favorite sports coverage, you can catch it on Facebook, YouTube, and on radio 98.5 as we are teaming up to bring you coverage all over, no matter where you are. Tune in today.
Yes.
All right, welcome back here to the Palace, joined now by tennis players Finn McCardle and Jackson Gilbert. So just got done talking to Taylor and Adeline about their tennis season. And the girls' side, we talked with Coach Bobby about this. They had a little bit of a slow start. What were things like for the boys' side of things this year throughout the season?
Well, I think we had a great season, honestly. Started off the season hot, win after win after win. The only time we really lost was when we went up to Northern Kentucky to play those tougher teams up there. But overall, I'd say we had a great start to our season. I think we had a good season. What do you think, Finn?
I mean, yeah, individually wise, everyone did really well. We didn't know for sure whether me and Jackson were going in doubles and he was going in singles, and so we mixed a few things up. And Joe Clay and Ethan actually. They got to a slower start. They actually started out as the 3 seed for our team.
They did.
I think that lasted one game.
I know.
Joe Clay took that to heart and reclaimed his 2 seed.
Yeah, he did not let that slide.
He
wanted that 2 seed.
No, but so I think overall, though, we did have a pretty well start once we got in the flow of things, yeah.
So you guys both ended up making your way to state. Finn, you were doubles partners with Carson Ilza.
Yes,
and you guys were able to earn a spot there in the state tournament, and it was your first time. Talk about that experience.
Well, going into the region tournament, we didn't know if we were even going to be seeded because we hadn't played, like I said, beginning, me and Jackson had played some matches together. Then me and Carson were going to play the other half of the season together. But then rain happened, sickness happened, and we only got to play a couple teams we really needed to play. And so going into the tournament, we didn't even know if we were going to be seeded. But thanks to our coaches, Bobby and TJ, we got the 4 seed somehow and probably got the best draw in the tournament. Also thanks to Joe Clay and Ethan, who beat a couple teams for us, and we didn't have to. And so we ended up getting a great job, making it to the semifinals, qualifying for state. We went to state. Our luck ran out in the drawing there, and we drew the number 2 seed in the state. But you know what? We played our best match. We lost, but, you know, I was still really proud of the season we had.
Absolutely. And Jackson, you were able to advance the state in singles. How was that experience for you?
Well, it's something I've worked at for, you know, ever since I've started my freshman year, not really knowing anything about tennis. First time ever picking up a racket. But over time, I just learned to love the game. And this year, I had high expectations for myself. You know, I wanted to be a top 3 seed in region. And throughout the season, I worked hard and I won some games to make that happen. And, you know, whenever the first draw for region came out, I was the 3rd seed. But then some unfortunate news for Will Wagers, who is South's 1 seed.
Yeah.
He broke his leg, and that moved me up to the 2 seed. And that really helped my draw out because it gave me an easier draw to make it to state. And I worked my way up and ended up getting to the finalist of region. And, you know, that felt really good. Then my luck ran out and, you know, in the finals. But it was okay. But then state, I was excited for it. I had a great time. You know, I mean, first match didn't end how I wanted it to, but I'm still proud of the season I had and proud of all my teammates, you know.
Absolutely. And so you're a senior, both of you guys. You mentioned that you started tennis your freshman year. When did you begin?
I started taking lessons from Bobby in 6th grade,
Sixth grade, okay.
At the time, I went to East Bernstadt, so you were not allowed to play in middle school there. So I started actually playing for the team my freshman year.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, but
I
you had a little bit
Jackson
of experience
into tennis.
Okay.
Some might say
taking some credit.
Some might say that I got Jackson, Joe Clay, and Ethan into tennis. So I was kind of the heart of the team that brought this senior class up. But
yeah, I guess
some say that. I don't know. That's what I hear.
All right, and just talk a little bit about Bobby Smith. You know, we were talking when he was here, talking with Dad, me and Dad earlier about how long he's been the tennis coach here. And you know, just thinking about that, all the lives he's impacted and changed. What has he meant to you guys as a coach and a mentor?
He's like a father to me in this sport. It's like, I don't know. I look up to him. He's the best coach I could ever ask for. Always pushes me to my limits. I couldn't ask for anyone better.
Absolutely.
He's just a very knowledgeable man about tennis. I just tell you that much. I love to play Bobby in tennis because once you think you have him, once he's falling backwards and he's just off balance, he looks like he's about to fall down. He'll just flick his wrist and win the point and make it seem like an idiot. But no, he's really a good coach to us. I've loved having him the past 4 years as a coach. I couldn't ask for anyone better. I'm sure every single person you ask would say the same thing about him. So we're great to have him for 24 years at North Laurel.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me here tonight, and congratulations on really great tennis careers here at North Laurel. We will step aside for a quick break, and then we will start our softball segment of the second show of the Jaguar Den here at the Palace.
The Palace Family Entertainment Center has 60,000 square feet of fun and games, 18 bowling lanes, the largest arcade in town, an indoor go-kart track, a full-service snack bar, and now introducing Crazy Axes, our new axe-throwing facility. Ask us about our bowling leagues and birthday party rooms. Come for the thrills and excitement and stay for the fun. We have it all at the Palace on North Main next to Kroger.
North Laurel Nation, 98.5 WJTE, the Light of London, and the Jaguar Broadcasting Network have teamed up to bring you North Laurel athletic coverage like you've never seen it before, with shows like the Jaguar Den on the first Monday of every month. And all your favorite sports coverage, you can catch it on Facebook, YouTube, and on radio 98.5, as we are teaming up to bring you coverage all over, no matter where you are. Tune in today.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Jaguar Den. We are joined now by head coach Chris Edwards for the Lady Jags softball team, and softball is currently the only spring sport that is continuing their run here. We have got the first round of the state championship, the state tournament coming up on Thursday. So obviously, Coach, we'll start there. That's obviously what's probably consuming most of your mind right now is that game.
It really is. It's consuming all of my days, to be honest with you. We got a lot of stuff going on, but getting the girls ready is priority number one, and we had a great practice today. We'll get another practice in the morning. We're trying to we play the 10 o'clock game. We drew the short straw there, so we're practicing at 10 to try to get ready for it. We'll travel up Wednesday, spend the night, get some food, do what we need to do there, and try to make it a little bit of an experience for them as well. But we're getting ready.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you and your players taking the time, out of your busy schedule coming up to do this and be on this show for us. We love highlighting every sport here,
Sure.
And that's the point of Jaguar Den. Obviously, this has been a wonderful season, but this has been the standard for the softball program for years in the past, is to get to state, and not only that, but make a run. And last year, your program was able to do that. And what a way, you're now coming back to play the team that beat you in the state championship. As a coach, I know that puts a little bit more fire in your players and into all of your staff.
Well, the players and coaches that came before us at North Laurel softball set the standard very high.
Yep.
The team that we have this year got a taste of what the success was all about last year. We won a couple of games. Well, we won 3. It was just a tremendous. I didn't enjoy it as much at the time as I did afterward because there's a lot of I got to get ready for the next game.
Yep.
Our girls, this set of girls is focused on Henderson County right now. I don't know if any of them even know who's in the same bracket that we're in if we were to win, and that's the way I want it. I want them to get ready for Henderson County now. Henderson County had some really, really good players last year. They've lost some offense, but they've got an SEC caliber pitcher. So we've got our work cut out for us. We're still a really good team, but I told the girls today after practice, if anybody thought we couldn't go up there and win, just let me know now, and that way I can adjust accordingly. And everybody that's in my locker room thinks that we have a chance.
Absolutely.
So you finished the regular season 24-6. Obviously won the 49th district tournament. Then had a outstanding softball game in the opening round against Corbin. And a lot of times when we talk about teams and that go on runs, sometimes you got to have a lot of luck. You got to be really good, but you also got to have some luck. Just a great win against Corbin. Talk a little bit about that game and then the next 2 games in the regional tournament.
So we preach a lot of control what you can control.
Right.
So we know going into the region that we're a winner, so we get to play a district loser. And the best one out of everybody that was left was Corbin, and we knew what Corbin had. We knew Danny Foley would be fired up. We played travel ball with her. We know just how good she is and just how much of a competitor she is. And the coach made a bad pitch call, and we made a mistake, and that cost us a couple of runs, and that was nobody's fault but mine. The ball was where it was supposed to be. Girl made a good swing, so we found ourselves down a run in the last inning.
And it struggled to hit her most of the game. I think you had 5 hits, and 3 of those were infield hits.
We had 9 total
until that 7th.
4 were in the last inning, and 2 or 3 of those were infield hits. You're right.
I think Morgan led off there in the 7th.
It was a total team win there at the end. Sage gets the credit as she should for the walk-off hit, but Morgan's got to get the leadoff hit. The pinch runner, Riesling Garland, has to steal that base.
Yes.
Tessa
Bella Finley.
Bella Finley absolutely tied it up. You're right. I skipped her. That was my fault.
Yeah.
She loves that corner, and that's the second or third time she's done that in situations like that. So we tie the game, and now we're going to play some small ball, and we didn't get the bunt down. And then Tessa was about a quarter inch away. That girl got a glove on it. We had to freeze at second, or she might have got the game-winning hit.
Yeah.
But still, total team win, top to bottom. Emma pitched her guts out, pitched a great game too. She made, I think we had 3 hits.
Yeah, 1 bad pitch.
And that wasn't a bad pitch. She threw it where I asked her to, and that was
good swing.
Totally
good swing.
Totally my fault. I'll take all the blame for that one. But and the next 2 games, Pineville, Rachel Howard's a Division I caliber pitcher. She's got another year left. She's got 1 million strikeouts.
She was impressive.
Yeah, she's really good. And she threw like 160 pitches. I didn't realize that. I was looking at the stats today.
Wow.
And only about half of them were strikes, and we were chasing after them. So
we talked about that on the broadcast.
I wouldn't throw a strikes either if we're going to swing at them. But and then with Jackson County, they beat South, obviously. So they're capable, and we worry about them a lot just simply because they've played together so long and they're so familiar with everything that we do.
Right.
we tied that game early, got a couple hits by Bella and Sage to extend the lead a little bit and get away from them. And then that fourth inning, we just blew it up. And I was waiting on that big inning the entire week, and I'm glad it finally came.
Well, we talked all week, and we just had a blast broadcasting that tournament. We talked about, Emma's hitting statistics, Sage's hitting statistics, all-time RBI leader at North Laurel High School, was top 10 in the state. Bella Sizemore just down the lineup, but Tessa Monholland swung a hot bat in the regional tournament.
Yeah, she works really, really hard. She sometimes lacks the confidence that I wish that she had. But man, once she's seen the ball, it's like making a 3-pointer late in the game, as you'd know, Jalen. Once you see the ball come off that bat and you find a gap, and then you hit one off the end of the bat and it bloops in for a hit, the confidence just continues. And she hit one a mile off Rachel, and then 3 hits in the finals. I mean, she was great. She was really great. Now, back to your stats. Now we're top 20 in a lot of offensive categories. People don't realize that top to bottom we've got 10 girls really that can hit it. And I'm super proud of everything they've done to get ready for the season and as the season progressed. But I'm certainly okay with where we are right now.
Absolutely. Well, as broadcasting some of the baseball and softball games, it's Jalen and I have a love for all sports,
sure.
But, after probably basketball, baseball and softball are right up there.
Right.
And we've just enjoyed the heck out of it. Sometimes she has to look at me because I get into coach mode and, start talking about what I'm going to do on the next play.
Well, now I went back and watched all these games and listened to you. I take the pointers too. In the Jackson County game, you were begging me to score that last run in that last fourth inning. So
we wanted to start celebrating.
Well, I was fine with that because I wouldn't stop her. They were going to have to throw her out. That's for sure.
Well, just to plug, we'll be on due to KHSA regulations. We cannot live stream video of the game, but we will be on 98.5 WJTE, the Light of London, with the audio broadcast of the first round of the state tournament on Thursday. So if you can't get up there and watch these ladies, you can listen to Jalen and I will have that call.
But
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, try to be there. John Crop Stadium is just an awesome place, not only to watch a game, but to watch your Lady Jags. And we saw it last year. Anything can happen when you step onto that field.
That's
right. Records in the regular season mean nothing. Records from last year mean nothing. It's a whole new ball game when you step on the field for the state tournament. And I got a good feeling our Lady Jags are going to get some stuff done.
We're going to go up there and give it a try. I heard one of the College World Series coaches today say, I need one strike. Until you run out of strikes, you've got a chance. And that's some of the attitude we had last year. We made a big comeback in one of the games last year, and that's the approach we're going to take this year. But I got to say, thanks to Kip and thanks to you guys for being here and all the sponsors that make this stuff possible. Softball is not a revenue sport. It's a secondary type thing, and we all know that. But for these girls and these teams to get the amount of coverage that they're getting and the publicity that they get, I mean, it's unmatched anywhere around here that I know of. And certainly in the bigger picture, these girls get a lot of publicity that maybe they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And my team deserves it. They've really run really well the last 3 years. Actually, since I got the job, we've won a lot of games. We played in 3 of the 4 region tournament finals. Happened to get lucky enough and fortunate enough to win a couple of them, but they deserve all the attention we can get. And I think whoever's responsible for that, and you guys as well.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach, for joining us this evening. And you got a couple more days to get ready, and we'll be there rooting for you on Thursday morning.
Absolutely.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
We'll step aside, and we'll take a break and be back with Katie Keene and Bella Sizemore from the softball team. This is the Jaguar Den.
Country gospel, you have found the source. It's the Light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the Light of London for the very best of country and southern gospel.
We are the Light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
Don't laugh. All Jay. right.
No, that's so
Welcome
stupid.
back here to the Jaguar Den. Joined now by Katie Keene and Bella Sizemore, two of our Lady Jag softball players. And we just got done talking with head coach Chris Edwards. And obviously, this is the biggest week of the season coming up. Thursday, you guys play Assumption in the first round of the state tournament. So, first, let's recap the region tournament. First game, you guys wasn't looking too good. Honestly, I'll just say it. I was nervous, in the booth, but I had faith because I'd seen you guys come back from, I believe it was 7-0 last year in the state tournament and made a run, was able to come back and win that game. So we were feeling confident. But just talk about your team's fight that you guys saw in the region tournament and how you hope they bring that with them on Thursday.
Yeah, as a senior, it's great to have people behind you that you know that you can trust. And our underclassmen definitely stepped up. They got big hits in the bottom of the lineup, which I'm very thankful for. But as a senior, it's a different feeling because you're like, hey, I don't want to go home. And obviously, we had a great run last year and made it to the state championship. And it wasn't like unreal feeling. But this time, it's like win or go home and never step back on the softball field. So having that close game against Corbin, I definitely did not like. But bringing home the W was something that I was very thankful for. And later on, winning the region tournament. But now we got to focus up on Thursday.
Yeah, and Katie, we broadcast, a couple games throughout the season, and I think I saw you finally come alive there in the region tournament, and it was awesome, to see you get that confidence at the plate. You had the in the park home run, I believe. Was that off of a bunt?
No, that was a hit down the
right. A little blooper, and you end up scoring on it. And then you had a really nice hit past the third baseman in the championship game to continue that, that hot inning going. Just talk a little bit about, your role and what you're trying to do for your teammates when you step into the box.
Well, I'm always just trying to get a hit and be there for my team because right now is the biggest part of the year.
Yep.
We need as many runs as we can get to keep going and advance to the next game.
Absolutely. So talk to Chris about this. And I was like, I know the only thing on your mind is Thursday at 10 o'clock. And he was like, yes. So we're grateful that you guys came out and did this tonight, even though you're busy. But talk about what you guys are doing in practice right now to prepare for this big game.
Yeah, we're not changing nothing. I know it's a state tournament, but we show up, we take ground balls, we hit, but we are doing a lot more situationships that you don't know what's going to take place during the game. But to always be heads up from outfield to infield, to know where you're cutting, to know where you're going, and communication. We're definitely working on communication right now between all of our players on the field. So like I said, we're staying focused for Thursday, and we're just going to do what we always do.
Absolutely. And Bella, like you mentioned, this is your senior year, so it's do or die and never step on the field again. And but you've had a tremendous career in not only softball but basketball as well. And just kind of talk about, your love for softball and how it's grown over the years and the things you've been able to accomplish here at North Laurel.
Yeah, I feel like I've been playing sports since I was able to walk, and I'm very thankful for parents and my family to always show up and always take me to places because I definitely wouldn't be the person I am today without them. But it's a lot of emotions.
I know.
Because I feel like I've played since forever, and from travel ball with UJ, from middle school to high school, it's like we constantly never stop. And then you always complain about practices. You always complain about them late weekends. But now looking back, it's one of the best times of your life. And to know that in a couple of weeks, well, possibly a week, that my season can be over. I'm just very grateful for what the sports has brought me, friendships and lifelong memories that'll forever remain in my head. That'll be something I will always stay with. And North Laurel, it's been an honor to wear blue and green. No one really knows what it is like as a North Laurel family.
Yeah.
They always take stuff serious. Sports is always a mandate, and that's something that you'll never forget in the family that you gain. A lot of emotions.
Yeah, I know. I mean, right there, you have me tearing up just thinking about, gosh, we've been playing sports together and the friendships, relationships, those people will stick with you for life. And it's just, it's cool to see you guys, get the opportunity to go on a big run together again at John Crop Stadium. And obviously, like you said, a lot of emotions, but you also have to find a way to dig deep and, dig within and find a way to get it done. So just talk a little bit about Katie, favorite moment from the season where you feel like, this team really came together and was able to get something big done.
Probably, honestly, the Corbin game because there's a lot of doubt whenever we're down. But then you just have to have faith in your teammates that they're going to pull through because we've been doing this since we can walk.
Yeah.
So that was probably the biggest game that
Absolutely.
we've had yet.
Hopefully, there'll be another moment where you guys dig deep, are able to get it done. But we are excited that you guys joined us tonight and excited to be rooting you all on here on Thursday morning at 10. So everyone listening to this, please come out and support your Lady Jags.
Yeah, we're ready to BTB. Ain't that right, Kate? BTB.
All right, we'll step aside for a quick break, and then we'll move on to our final segment and hear from head coach Darren McWhorter for the baseball team.
Go Jags.
Go Jags.
The Palace Family Entertainment Center has 60,000 square feet of fun and games, 18 bowling lanes, the largest arcade in town, an indoor go-kart track, a full-service snack bar, and now introducing Crazy Axes, our new axe-throwing facility. Ask us about our bowling leagues and birthday party rooms. Come for the thrills and excitement and stay for the fun. We have it all at the Palace on North Main next to Kroger.
North Laurel Nation, 98.5 WJTE, the Light of London, and the Jaguar Broadcasting Network have teamed up to bring you North Laurel athletic coverage like you've never seen it before, with shows like the Jaguar Den on the first Monday of every month. And all your favorite sports coverage, you can catch it on Facebook, YouTube, and on radio 98.5 as we are teaming up to bring you coverage all over no matter where you are. Tune in today.
That'd be me. All right, welcome back here to the Palace in London for the second show of the Jaguar Den. We are now reaching our final segment here with the boys baseball team, and this is head coach Darren McWhorter joining us now. Obviously, coach, really good season. Didn't end maybe the way we had been hoping for, but sadly, that's how sports go. It's not always a happy ending that you anticipate at the beginning of the season. But we had a blast covering your all's team this year, and it was a really great season overall for your boys.
Yeah, it really was. This was a fun group of kids to coach. They all get along. Didn't have any issues with anything. It was a very smooth season. It was actually, early in the season, we'd win some, lose some, win some, lose some. But you always want to be playing your best at the end of the year. We was on a 6-game winning streak, and I was feeling really good going into the district. But baseball's a crazy game.
Funny game.
Yeah. Go ask Vanderbilt and Wright State.
Absolutely.
That's a prime example of how anything can happen in baseball. But overall, it was a successful season. We had a really good season, and the good thing about it is we don't have any seniors, so we'll be returning everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Very young team, no seniors. Mainly sophomore and junior dominated, and like you said, baseball's a funny game. You never know what's going to happen when you get out there on the field. But talk about some of those. Returning players. I think we're going to talk to Cam Smith and Braden Evans here in a little bit. But talk to us about some of your players and the highlights this season.
Well, Cam Smith, he led our team in home runs. He caught for us, and he was very solid behind the plate. I think he finished up the season with 6 home runs. He's up there right at the top in batting average. He had a 330 average, so he had a really good season.
He's been your catcher now for what?
Well, last 2 years.
Okay.
Well, it was a Cam Smith, but it was a different.
It was
one.
the other Cam Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have another
Ron
one.
and Michelle's son.
Yeah. And then Braden Evans, who you're going to talk to here in just a minute, he come along and had a really good season for us as well. He was a utility guy. He could pitch, play first, play second, play third, played short. He played everywhere in the infield this year, and just having guys like that, that really helps you because everybody on the team is pretty much a pitcher. So when this guy pitches, this guy can move here, and that guy moves there. So it's good to have kids that's able to play multiple positions.
You can't never have enough pitching.
Never.
UK needed some more pitching last night after big collapse against West Virginia. But
I will say that is one thing I did not. I knew there was a pitch count in baseball in high school. Like where they would have to take certain days off and let the pitch count reset. But it wasn't until one game we were broadcasting when we were just looking around like, who can we put on the mound, that I realized I was like, wow,
that may have been in the John Hooker Memorial.
It was. Yeah. It was. I was like, wow, I did not realize, how important it is to have a lot of pitchers in high school, especially. That's hard.
I mean, I try to talk them all into it. I mean, everybody's a pitcher.
Anyone can.
You may not know it, but we're going to try to turn you into one.
I think one of the games that I was at when Ethan was out for surgery, Jude pitched a JV game.
Yeah.
And then somebody said that'd been the first game he'd pitched all year.
Yeah.
And then a couple of games later, he pitched some of the varsity games.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we've used just about everybody on the team. Well, I can see right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different kids pitched in a varsity game this year. So
the thing you said you all were on, you won some early, lost some. What I noticed early on, obviously you play good competition. You're not going out and playing, a lot of inferior schools, but y'all played a lot of extra inning games.
Yes, we played more extra inning games this year. I think it was 5 or 6. I think 6. And they were, they were all either we would get 1-run wins or 1-run losses, and all those extra inning games, and that right there, it is what made it a fun season. Okay, where you're in games, competing in games. And these guys really competed well, and we had some kids, step up for us early, because early in the season, when pitchers' arms aren't in really good shape, you try to break games up and pitch, 2 or 3 innings here, 2 or 3 innings there, and work yourself into shape. Hopefully by spring break, then you're able to, turn them loose and let them pitch a game, try to protect their arms. And, so we definitely took advantage of using a lot of kids to pitch in varsity games.
Well, you talked about it. The season didn't end the way we wanted it to. In that district game against Clay County. I mean, we're up 4-0 in the fifth and
cruising right through it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not having much success at all offensively, and then this kind of the wheels kind of fell off of it.
And you still had a chance to win in the 6th and 7th inning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, they compete. And they know how. They were in a lot of these games. I was hoping we'd, be able to pull it out. It didn't. It didn't happen. But like I said, hopefully they'll have a desire and a burn in their bellies for next year. Because we're getting to host the district and the region tournament next year. So hopefully, we can all be on the same page and get this thing done.
Yeah, and hopefully the Jaguar Broadcasting Network can bring all those games next year.
Absolutely. That's right. So talk a little bit about, like we mentioned, you had an 8th grader pitch for you in Cooper Parman. So a lot of these players, I have a feeling we're going to be really good next year. Talk about, just the competition within our district between Clay County and Jackson. Jackson County kind of has, the last few years, been really good.
They've had really good They've had some really good pitchers. With the Farmer kid, he was a senior, and then Ashton Clemens is another really good pitcher. And they got some more kids too that just through my son playing summer ball and some travel ball that played with some of those kids when they were younger. So they've got a talented group. And the Markham kid, the Taylor Markham from Clay, he'll be back next year. And we beat him once, then we. He didn't finish out the game, but we scored our runs on him before they switched pitchers, and then he goes and they barely get beat by Whitley County.
Got 1-0
with a 1-0 loss.
Yeah.
So he's a talented pitcher. He don't throw hard, but he doesn't walk. That's his thing. He don't walk people, and he changes speeds really well, and that gives people problems, and he's able to keep you off balance. But our district right now is even as it's ever been, with all 3 teams. since I've been here. It's usually, these two teams are good or these two teams are good, but all three of them are very talented right now.
Well, we talked to Bobby Smith earlier. He said he'd been the tennis coach since 2001. I believe that's how long you've been a baseball coach?
Yes.
Head coach since 2001?
2001.
So you're the longest tenured head coaches in North Laurel history.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and Bobby Smith. We had two legends on here tonight.
Two legends.
Well, I've got four as an assistant too, so I'm gonna trump him on that.
All right.
All right, so we will go ahead and step aside, take a quick break, and then we will hear from our two baseball players, Braden Evans and Cam Smith. We want to thank you guys for joining here, and thank you, Palace, for letting us host this here tonight. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back.
The Palace Family Entertainment Center has 60,000 square feet of fun and games, 18 bowling lanes, the largest arcade in town, an indoor go-kart track, a full-service snack bar, and now introducing Crazy Axes, our new axe-throwing facility. Ask us about our bowling leagues and birthday party rooms. Come for the thrills and excitement and stay for the fun. We have it all at the Palace on North Main next to Kroger.
Country gospel, you have found the source. It's the Light of London 98.5 for the old and new. And somewhere in between, we are the Light of London for the very best of country and southern gospel.
We are the Light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
All right, welcome back here to the Jaguar Den, joined now by two baseball players, Braden Evans and Cam Smith. So we just got done talking to Coach McWhorter, about your all season as a whole, and started, going back and forth kind of at the beginning of the season. You'd win some, you'd lose some, and he talked about how this was some of the most games you've ever went into extra innings in his career, and he's been coaching here a long time, and just kind of talked a lot about, the ups and downs of your all season. But one of the main things we touched on was you guys are still young. You had no seniors this year, and as good as you were this year, that gives you the opportunity for you all to be even better as a team next year, and hopefully you're hosting district and region at North Laurel, and that's going to be a very exciting season. But talk a little bit about how you guys really started to come together towards the end of season and started getting some wins before tournament time.
I think we played really good towards the end of the year. We started playing more as a team, and it was a lot more fun towards the end of the year because we played good teams, but we competed and we stayed right in there. We kept playing together, but it didn't end up as good, but
that's the thing about the sport of baseball. It's go one way or the other, and sometimes things happen that you don't anticipate, but that's what makes the game so good, is because when you do get those things on your side, things go your way, it can be really awesome. Talk a little bit about just some goals you have for next season.
Well, hopefully we're gonna make it out of district next year and win it, because the last couple of years haven't went our way. We've been going in big win streaks and then end up not making it out. So we're going to hopefully win district and region, of course. But
absolutely. And we were talking about how this year your all's district was really tough. I mean, all teams within the district were really good and, could have went either way. And Jackson County lost, one of their number one pitchers. So the door's open. You guys have got a real opportunity. What are you all going to do in the off season, to try to better yourselves personally?
I think just a lot of lifting, a lot of getting time on the field. Like we had practice right before this, so we're already thinking about next year. Yeah. We're just kind of putting this in the past 2 years. We've not done anything in the postseason. We're hoping next year's our year. It's the only year we've got. So
yeah, absolutely.
Might as well do it.
And talk a little bit. You're both going to be seniors, correct?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about how you guys got started playing baseball, you know, when you kind of really fell in love with it.
Well, yeah. Well, both of us, we played Little League. So,
So since you've been really young.
Yeah, at a young age, we just got put in Little League and we fell in love with it, I guess.
We quit every other sport, just kind of focus on baseball. I think both of us, we've only played baseball like all the way through middle and high school.
Yeah, we quit basketball pretty early back in elementary school.
See, I was the opposite. I quit softball to pursue basketball in middle school and high school. So sadly, that's how things work. Sometimes you kind of find that sport that really has your heart that you love the most and the one you want to work hard at to try to be the best you can. So, but this season, you know, the game against Clay County, you all were up 4-0, I believe, and they ended up fighting their way back to win. But getting to cover you all this season, I got to see a lot of really good highs and really good lows, and that's like I said, the sport of baseball. But talk a little bit about Coach McCorder and kind of, you know, the impact he's had on you all as baseball players and just as humans in general.
He's a great coach. He's a great guy. I really like him as a guy. Just talking to him out there when we were waiting to come in here, just conversation. You know, it's just not always about being a coach and being a player. It's about just being just together.
Absolutely.
You know? He never makes it all about baseball. It's all about life.
Yeah.
More life lessons than just baseball.
That's true, because as sad as this is, you know, are any of you two looking to continue playing in college if the opportunity comes?
The opportunity's there.
If it's there.
Absolutely.
Try it, so.
That's right. So, yeah, Coach McCorder, he's a great guy, a really awesome coach, and I'm really excited for next season. I can't wait, you know, to see. I have a really great feeling, you know, about district and region. But to wrap things up here, just give me your favorite moment from last season. Just whether it was a game you guys ended up winning, that was a fun one, or a moment in the clubhouse, you know, where you guys were just being friends, having a good time, not thinking about baseball.
I'm going to have to say spring break trip. We won those games down there.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's probably going to be when we play Corbin at our place.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever there was a bunch of MLB scouts there.
Oh, yes. We were broadcasting that one.
It was a big game. Couple rain delays, maybe.
Yeah.
Out.
Not even the one that you hit the walk-off home run against. So, yeah.
He just really liked beating Corbin, I guess. All right. Well, thank you guys, you know, for taking your time and joining me here tonight. We will step aside for one more break. This has been Braden Evans and Cam Smith here on the Jaguar Den.
Country gospel you have found source. It's the light of London 98.5 for the old and new, and somewhere in between we are the light of London for the very best of country and southern gospel.
We are the Light of London 98.5, providing you with some of the very best gospel music around. And you can take us with you anywhere you go. For more information, visit us at www.lightoflondon.com.
All right, welcome back here to the Jaguar Den here at the Palace in London. We are ready to close things out here. Another really successful show and a great opportunity of highlighting some more of our athletes in the spring season.
Absolutely. I thought this was a great show. I got an opportunity to talk about some of our minor sports that may not get the publicity that they deserve, and our student athletes from track to tennis to baseball to softball, and always enjoy giving kids an opportunity to talk about the sport they play and give the coaches an opportunity to highlight their seasons, and just thankful to be able to do this. We're thankful to Jaguar Broadcasting Network on North Laurel Nation. You can catch this on Facebook and North Laurel Nation YouTube. We just look forward to doing it again. We'll be back on the air in July 14th. Be a little later than normal due to the dead period. The dead period for high school athletics is June 25th through July 9th. So we'll be back in July 14th here live from the Palace. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, Craig Tincher here of the Palace, all those who have sponsored our, we started this in basketball, and, then we were able to do some baseball and softball. And thank you to all that have sponsored. I can't go through all of them right now. I'd forget someone, but if you're interested in sponsoring North Laurel High School athletics and continuing to allow us the opportunity to live stream games, just reach out to Mr. Eversole at the high school, or you can reach out to Jalen. I know she sent out some things to some different businesses, but we just love doing this. And again, we'll be on the air Thursday at 10 a.m.
Yep.
98.5 WJTE. We believe we'll also be able to do the audio stream through Facebook.
Yep. And maybe even YouTube. I think we could. We'll
get
have
that
to check on that.
announcement out there,
We'll post something out there on all of our socials on North Laurel Athletics. But if you can, try to be there in person. As much as we love doing this on the radio for you guys, these girls deserve all of the support from the community that they can get as they continue to try to get back to that state championship
win
game
another
again.
State championship. I think is the 20th regional championship for North Laurel High School.
Yep.
Most wins in the state. One of the most prolific softball programs in the state of Kentucky, and be there to cheer these ladies on as Coach Chris Edwards and his girls look to bring home another state championship to North Laurel High School.
All right. We appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight for the second show of the Jaguar Den. As we mentioned, the next one will be July 14th. And if there is anyone who is not able to watch these shows live, you can always go back to our page at North Laurel Nation on Facebook and rewatch these streams whenever you'd like. So this has been Jalen and Mike Black, and we are signing out for episode 2 of the Jaguar Den.
Go Jags.
Go Jags.
This is the Jaguar Den on the home of all things North Laurel, FM 98.5, and the Jaguar Broadcasting Network via North Laurel Nation. This is where we proudly highlight all our student athletes and band members. You'll see and hear from basketball, cross country, soccer, volleyball, bass fishing, baseball, softball, track and field, golf, tennis, archery, football, swimming, cheer, and dance. Thank you for joining us in the Den.